welcome back to our latest edition of West Coast XC. I'm your host, Ken Martinez. If you're watching this, you're watching it on YouTube. If you wouldn't mind clicking on the subscribe button, that would really help our cause. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please follow. Thank you so much. In this episode, we check in with our wonderful photographer, Todd Tokubo, about what's going on in the Bay Area with high school races early in this track season. And then last weekend, I went to downtown Portland and watched and took pictures of the Wildwood Mile. And I would encourage people to go to last week's episode where we talked with Marie Davis Markham about the Wildwood Mile and about Wildwood running. It's not really a preview of the runners who are running, so it's kind of timeless. It's just about what their program's about. It's really fantastic how they're promoting running for women, young female athletes too that are becoming middle school and high school athletes and into college. And it's a great episode. That's last week's episode. Please check it out. There were 14 heats of the competitive mile, 2 heats of the community mile, and I took pictures of all the heats. The last heat was the fast heat, just like any typical meet. And it had some pretty amazing athletes in it, including Ellery Lincoln of Lincoln. She ran 4:35.55. This is not a 1600, but a full mile. It is the fastest time in Oregon state history. What makes that even more remarkable, as you know, last week was still February, super early in the season, before even the official track practices have started in Oregon. I also want to give a shout out to Eleanor Wyatt, a sophomore out of Westland. She broke 5 minutes. That's a big deal, breaking 5 minutes the mile. She ran 4:56.50. And at the end of the race, there was a I wouldn't say 4x4 because that makes it to 1600, but it was a mile relay, 4 times whatever it does to make a mile. And the theme was blue jeans. Not all the kids wore blue jeans, but if you check out our photo gallery at westcoastxc.com or at our Instagram account at westcoastxc, you can see the gallery, and you can go and scroll down and check out the mile relay, which athletes were encouraged to wear blue jeans. And so it's really, the kids, you can tell, you can look at their faces, they're having a ball, having a great time. They had the mile relay last year, but this is the first year where they had blue jean mile relay. They had, I think, 6 ambassadors, like high school athletes, who came up with this idea, and they were all using different objects as batons. Some use the normal batons, but if you look at the picture, you can look and see that some have some pretty funny batons. So check those out when you get a chance to go to our website or go to our Instagram account and check out our bio. Now we're going to check in with Todd and talk about track and field in Northern California. We're very happy to have Todd Tokubo, our fantastic photographer from the Bay Area. Hey, Todd.
Hey, Ken. How's it going?
Good. I like your hat.
Thank you. Had to cover my hair for today because I had been wearing a hat all day.
Yeah, hat head or something like that?
Yeah, hat head.
All right, so up here in Oregon and Washington, the kids started practicing on Monday. And we will not, in both states, not race for another three weeks or so, get some practice in. But in California, they are breaking in their racing spikes and doing some racing in late February. And you went to the Skyline Invitational in Oakland, California, and there were some impressive races that you saw.
Yeah, well, like we talked about before, previously, we don't have an indoor season here per se, and so the cool trade-off with that, especially in Northern California, is we start racing a little bit earlier, and actually, some of the teams that I saw, they already had a team meet last week as well. So there's a lot of meets going on, like duels and league meets happening this week. But yeah, I was at Skyline up in Oakland. It was mostly NCS teams, but a couple of CCS teams as well. And Albert Caruana, friend of the program, was coaching San Mateo's distance kids.
I saw he had a post on Instagram that he was at the meet. He was coaching the San Mateo kids.
That is correct.
As like a volunteer assistant, or?
He was there. He said he was coaching the team. I said, that's fantastic. It's awesome. They did really well too. They had a couple of girls who did really well.
Oh, good. All right. Well, that's great. We'll be having him on pretty soon later on in the track season to talk about some meets. Should we start with the 800 meters? What did you see at the 800 meters?
So I'll kind of go in order. So the 1600
This
was the
first?
first
Yep.
race.
Okay, we'll do it that way.
And this is, these is all early season races, so you kind of don't know what to expect. But yeah, in the girls' race, Ella Moggenham from Lick Wilmerding, she kicked things off with a bang. She went sub 5, and she did sub 5 last year, so it's not a surprise. But opening the season with a sub 5, she was an NXN qualifier, D5 cross country California champ. She looked really good. Broke 5. Probably could have gone faster, but looked great for an early season race. Elia Nierengarden from Castro Valley was second, and then there was a whole group of like 10 girls between 5:10 and 5:20. So good early season times for the girls.
Yeah.
The Archie Williams team was there. Annie Stig and Brooke Lee were not running; they were on the sideline cheering for their team. But there was a good set of early season racing going on there. And then for the guys, actually, Kimball made the trip to Oakland. So Andres Lomeli, who we saw at multiple times at Clovis last year, who did really well, had a great cross country season. He ran 4:18.74, so he paced 3 guys, including Jolly from St. Mary's and Ethan Kroska from University. And hey, Ben Friedman, where were you, man? I didn't see Ben. I didn't see Ben yesterday, or sorry, I didn't see Ben on Saturday. But 3 guys under 4:20 to open the season is pretty impressive.
It's very impressive. Yeah, Andres Lomeli is from Tracy, California, in the big Central Valley, and came over the hill and raced in the Bay Area. So looking for some fast competition. Looks like he got it. And then
Kimball brought a huge team.
Oh, great. That's great. What a good experience for them. And then you have the middle race is the 800 meters in the middle of the meet. I see some fast times too.
Oh, actually, I forgot to mention Bella Moggenham. She broke the meet record.
Okay.
And Annie Stieg had said it last year.
Oh, she was cheered from the sidelines and watched it go.
Yeah, she had set the meet record last year at 4:02 or 5:02 or 5:04 or something like that. But Ella Moggenham, she cracked it at 4:59.45.
Coolio. All right.
All right. So at the 800, Anna Salter from Crystal Springs Upland, she came and dropped a 2:14. That was also a meet record.
That's fast.
And just behind her was Chloe Leduc from Oakland Tech. She ran a 2:21, but she had also run in that sub 5:20 group in the 1600 earlier.
Yeah, good double.
So she did a 16:8 double. So very really nice set of races for Chloe. And then Menlo showed up. Ran their boys in the 800. Henry Hauser dropped a 1:54.28. We saw him a little bit during the winter season. He was racing really well then, but Menlo had 5 of the top 7 and 6 of the top 10. So they're
in the 800.
In the 800, wow. Henry's time of 1:54 was also a meet record.
Oh, cool! That's great.
Menlo, is looking like Menlo and working on their speed right now.
Awesome. And
then once, sorry, go ahead.
No, then we get towards the end of the meet. Is the 3200 before the 4x8?
They ran the 4x8 first, so the sun started going down after most of the sprint events. The 4x8 they actually ran combined because they ended up having 5 teams, I think, total run, 4 boys teams and 1 girls team. Okay. So Nueva School ran about a 9 flat for their 4x8, and Kimball ran a 12:01, and I think they outpaced one of the freshman boys teams from Jefferson, I think, who was running there. So it's a nice early 4x8, but a lot of those kids I think ran the 800 or the mile earlier in the day as well. And man, it was hot on Saturday.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was. Skyline's field, not that you've seen it a lot, but it's one of these older turf fields, so it's really reflective. It gets really hot. Yeah, it was above 80 by the middle of the day. It was really warm.
Yeah, California's had a little warm spell there.
Yeah,
February.
it's a nice difference from 2 years ago when every single meet had rain,
Yeah.
but it was hot.
Wow, that's wild.
And right around the 4x8 time, the sun started going down and started getting pretty dark. A lot of teams started leaving because most of their sprinters were done.
Yeah.
It was right after the 200. So the teams that were sprinter heavy were all starting to pack up and take off. So it got a little quiet.
And
then 32.
Yep.
32. The girls' race was won by Madeline Douglas from Tamalpais, just squeaking under 12:30. And there was a nice population in the boys' race. They had about 30 something boys running, and they crammed them all into one heat, and it looked really busy. But Lucas Rourke from Tamalpais ran a 9:42. He had run the mile earlier as well, so he was doing a morning evening double.
Nice.
But had a nice race. I think anytime you're that far under 10 this early in the season on a long race, it looks pretty good.
It does. That's a nice start. And then you want to highlight a sprinter from Bishop O'Dowd.
Bishop O'Dowd, Ian Sweeney. He had an amazing day. He ran the 100, 200, broke both meet records, 10.58 in the 100, and nobody else was under 11. So he won. I mean, when he crossed the line, he's 5 yards ahead. And then in the 2, he ran a 21:27, and he was a full second ahead of everybody. It's just absolutely amazing. Just like he was so fast. So it was cool to see that.
We'll keep an eye on Ian Sweeney this season from Bishop O'Dowd. Fast times, fast start. Sprinters like it hot, so you had some hot weather to do that. That's awesome. And then
it was really cool.
And then you have all these photos up on your website I'm going to say on your Instagram account. You can go to your bio at todd.sports.photos.
Yep, that's right.
You can check out all the photos, download those photos, tag Todd at todd.sports.photos. And so you are going to another meet this weekend. You're going to the Rustbuster at Monta Vista High School in Cupertino, not to be confused with Monta Vista High School in Pleasanton.
Correct.
Right? And Monta Vista is purple, or the purple team down in Cupertino.
I thought it was red. Okay, yes, it's a different color, but yes, you're right.
Okay. I've had the fortunate of having Monta Vista come to our meet in Portland, the purple team.
Oh, nice. Oh, you are right. They are purple.
Yeah. And so they actually, the story is the coach ordered a food truck the day before and invited our team to have free food, Vietnamese food.
Cool.
He ordered a food truck outside the course. And when my kids were still there helping us set up the course and stuff like that. And so we all went and had Vietnamese food truck food. It was fantastic. Anyway, that was Monta Vista. So we don't have, it's early in the week. We do not have the heat sheets. We don't have the entries. We just have the names of the schools coming to the meet. We will let you talk about some athletes you could possibly see on Saturday. But as you mentioned earlier, I'm looking at your notes here that the gals from Archie Williams and there were kids from Berkeley High listed on the Skyline race and they didn't run. So we're going to mention some kids who maybe not going to run this early in the season. They may be sick. They may be recovering from an injury, or they may all be there on Saturday. But they are special athletes that we'd like to recognize, and maybe they'll run on Saturday at the Rustbuster. It's called the Rustbuster because it's beginning of the season. Does the Central Coast section and the North Coast section, do they have different start weekends or no?
No, I think most of us, I know some of these teams they have their first league meets tonight. So we're all
going.
We've all started. And actually at Skyline, some of the teams are CCS teams that were there.
Okay.
Like Menlo School is a CCS team.
Correct. You're right. So they they've already had maybe some races under their belt. So, do you want to talk about some of the athletes who possibly could be racing this Saturday?
Yeah, we can talk about some of the teams that we pretty much think are going to be there, at least according to the list there. So we'll see, hopefully Los Altos, who had a really strong showing in the cross country season. Palo Alto,
Yeah.
that features um, uh, Amaya Bardawaj from who was first in Division II cross country and also was an NXN qualifier. So hopefully she'll be running. Milpitas will be there. Milpitas has a couple of runners, Rohan Iyer and Arnav Agarwal, who had pretty solid numbers both in the cross country season and from last year's track season. If Mountain View shows up, hopefully we get to see Brian Chen. On the boys' side, Los Altos has Taryn Davies, and then on the girls' side has a couple of girls, Eliana Whittles, and her sister Sam. So hopefully they both show up. St. Francis is also listed there. St. Francis and Mountain View. Sorry, Clint. That'll be like Peyton Wagner on the girls' side. And I know the girls' team had a really good cross-country season as well. So I think those would be the ones that we're hoping show up. Los Altos has quite a few people as well. So.
Yeah, I mean the teams are listed, and so they'll be there. It's whether the athletes are ready to race or not. And Menlo Atherton's also a very strong program that has several athletes too that'll be ready to rumble also. So it should be a fun meet. Should be some good kids. There's some kids from the smaller divisions, 5 and 4 in there too, which will be, as we know, the Bay Area is really strong in Division 5. So so that should be excellent. And you're going to be there, todd.sports.photos, and have those photos up as soon as you can. I made the mistake of going on my episode and saying, I'll have it out by Saturday night. And my wife gave me a hard time. It is hard to get them out so quick, but it's you get them out as soon as you can. And so if you're in the South Bay area, Cupertino area, and you're at the meet, look for Todd and his stickers.
Yep.
You'll be there. What's the weather like? Have you checked that out yet?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like perfect. It's supposed to be actually right now it's in the high 60s right now.
That's nice.
Hopefully the weather keeps up. It's trying to rain a little bit, but it's I hope it's just cooler than Saturday. It was really hot in Oakland on Saturday. It was.
You know what's hard about that is that obviously it's warm in California, but when it's February, you're not used to being that warm. That can be really challenging for distance runners. If you're training at 65-degree weather and suddenly it's 85, it's a little hot.
The interwebs tell us it's supposed to be about 75, so it'll be pretty warm on the field.
Yeah, right. It gets warmer on the field. Okay, Todd. Well, we'll look forward to those photos when the meet is over at the Rustbuster Invitational.
Yep.
Try
and get as many pictures out to you that are at least a little fun. I like to have a lot of fun in the early meets. It's not crunch time for anybody. We're not aiming for early season or big time PRs or anything. So I like to have fun these early season meets, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I posted several of them on Saturday on our story. So keep them coming. We'll look for them. And well, Todd, you have a great rest of your week, and we'll look forward to your photos from the Rustbuster Invitational and photos from the rest of the season.
Yes, and we'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see each other face to face in Dublin in 3 weeks.
I'm going to say 2
weeks.
2.5 weeks. Yep, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks. Wow, it's coming up really fast.
Everything's happening so fast. It's crazy. All right, Todd. We'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks again.
Hey, I want to thank Todd for coming on this week and talking about his first week of taking pictures at the regular season in Northern California. He took pictures at the Skyline Invitational. You can check out those photos at todd.sports.photos. That's his Instagram account, and you can find a photo gallery in his bio, and the pictures are there for you to download for free. If you use his photos, if you could please tag him and give him photo cred, that would be fantastic. And also, just if you go on his bio on Instagram, you can see that he may have taken pictures of you some other time in this last year. He goes to a lot of meets in Northern California, and he's headed to the Rustbuster at Monta Vista High School in Cupertino. And so if you plan on being there and you're racing, he may take a picture of you, or if you're just a fan of runners that are competing in the Bay Area, check out his gallery at todd.sports.photos. Because Cupertino, I always check my Apple phone. It gives me the weather sometimes in Cupertino. And Cupertino is on the West Coast, because the West Coast is the best coast. We will see you soon.